So every time, and it was
something different
until he ran out. Ain't no more. What you got for me now? Because I'm knowing how you coming now.
And I think, people don't talk about what it is to deal with a spiritual woman. Like, I think people like the idea of us, but the reality is something
they're scared.
Different.
They're scared.
Like, so completely different.
And the only reason to be scared is if you're not really true to yourself. You know what I mean?
If you're lying, why are you lying?
Exactly.
And I've watched people lie in my face in real time.
Oh my God!
They make
felt
it
and
sound
everything,
real
and
good.
and had the evidence, had the proof. Just wanted to see if you was really that person. You showing me you are, and thankfully you are.
Thank you for that. But damn,
right? That
like I thought this was going to go different. Like, why you gotta do me like this? Did I go through the motions? Like, damn,
different.
Am I the only one who want to change in life? Shit, this is. And well, for me, it's like the cycles that other people try to put on other people. Like, this is fun for you.
You want to carry that on, but you gonna do that
this
by
is
yourself.
Fun. Like, you're having
honestly admitting.
I have one situation where I can relate that I might be that person that you're talking about, because I feel like in the process of trying to figure out what they was coming with, how they was coming, like the patterns that they might have had, I felt like I got to know them in a way where they didn't know themselves. You know what I'm saying? And they did too.Got to know me in a way where I didn't know myself.
Mm-hmm.
So coming to like dealing with maybe you feeling like, oh, this person's about to leave me because I said something about my baby mom. This is like real life situation. She gonna leave me because I said something about my baby mom. When in all reality, like, you projecting, you really probably talking to your baby mom, and you probably know that if you bring
instead
that shit
of just
to
being 100, listen. That's how it was with my last situation. This was a friend. This is FRIEND exclamation mark. Okay, friend. There was nothing else going on. Friends. We've been friends since I was a young girl, but I'm grown now. So a lot of the friendships that I had when I was younger, that I reintroduced when I got older, dynamics are very different. And it has me thinking in the back of my head, when I was 16, did you want to fuck me then? Because now I'm 28, and the energy is going on different conversation. You know what I'm saying? I'm happy that you think I'm fuckable. After your little ego boost, you know what I mean? But listen, sweetheart. And again, when people meet me, the idea is different than the reality.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of the women that I end up befriending are women who are straight, who don't know that they're gay or aren't comfortable with the fact that they're gay yet. Yeah. So imagine being in a relationship but meeting me. Yeah. I promise you, it's not good. It's not good. Why? Because I don't care about niggas at all. So if you're in a relationship with a man, I'm really going to like press harder or whatever Spirit is telling me to do, because it's not working. Yeah. And what they end up doing is trying to make me their next teacher. Mm-hmm. That's what she kept trying to tell me, how to talk to him to make him better for her. But you want me. You. This energy is really what's going on here.
It's like, teach him how to be you.
Teach him, and I can't do that.
Yeah, because that's
one of the things, and I think that people think that we're anomalies because we're able, and that's one thing she was saying, you're an anomaly. No, I'm not. I paid attention. I listened to my friends when they're talking about their relationships with their men. Y'all not listening to y'all friends? When Anita was singing about that good love, when Amy was talking about the Back to Black, all of these heartbreak songs we got, I was listening to these women's tears. So when they were saying, nigga, I just want you to bring me flowers. Oh, bitches love flowers. Yeah. So when you come with flowers, you know what I'm saying? When they was like, I just want them to talk to give you. Oh, let me get my communication skills up. You know what I'm saying? I'm listening. Right. You know, that's what I was saying. I'm listening.
But that's what that should be doing.
There's nothing
extraordinary.
If you see me coming to you live here, my man. You see me coming. I'm bringing flowers and getting her this hype. Why you not getting flowers?
Right.
Oh, okay. You see me coming over here and I'm doing this, that, and the third. Why you not doing this, that, and the third when I leave? Why? Because if you do these things, my presence here would no longer be here. Do you understand? I also know myself to know that I don't connect with people unless God wants it to. Yep. And I know that if you do connect with me, you're either in a season of transition or there's something in your life that needs to be broken off.
And that's what I was going to tell you. That's what I get. That's the vibe I get from you.
Like, entirely.
Like, you're a part of a lot of people's awakening.
Say the last part.
You're a part of a lot of people's awakening. Like, you're going to be the...
And I know that, but I've had to grow into it. And I think that's something that a lot of us don't take the time to do, is roll into our gifts.
Well, you got to figure it out first, and I feel like you got to ask yourself those questions. Like, what motivates you? What gets you out of bed? Like, what makes you
this?
Exactly. So that's how you know.
This.
See how you
like,
answer so like a lot of people can't do that. I asked somebody that question the other day because she was like so in her head, because we talking about small businesses and stuff. And she was so in her head about like getting to the next level and making money and trying to get to, you know, where she sees some of me and her sister's friends are, you know, because we're older, and she looks at us like she looks up to us, rightfully so. So she's like, I
don't get into real estate. And in my mind, I'm like, I don't know this person to be into real estate at all. Like, so I asked her, I said, is that something that you're like really interested in? I never knew that. And she said, well, no, not really.
It could be an income stream.
But for her, it seemed like that's the only route she could take to get to that type of luxury, to that type of financial gain, to that type of success.
So I had to tell her straight up, like, you know, like there's like so much other things that you can do. Like, what do you like? And I asked her, what motivates you? Like, what gets you out of bed? That's the type of stuff that you need to look into, like maybe starting a small business for. Not something that you going in already questioning if this is even for me. Like, that's not gonna work out.
So what motivated you to start Lunacat?
Feeling like for the longest that my womb was broke from my connection with my mom, and her connection to her mom, and her connection to her mom. It's deep. It's deep, Daunessy. It's deep. So for me, it was.
First, I started getting into spiritualism, right? Like, what is this? Like, what is this? What could this do for me? Because I heard about it. And in 2016, it wasn't really widely talked about. It wasn't really popular. But that was when that's when I really started my journey. So for me, it started like with asking God, where do I start? Because at first I even thought, is it wrong of me to be asking God when this is spiritualism and my religion is, you know, Christian Pentecostal? Like, where am I going with this?
Get right with God first. Like, check with God first. Like, hey God, like send me a message. Let me know it's okay that I do this. You know, whatever happens, I'm going with it. But just let me know. And I just kept getting so many little serendipitous, divinely guided movements, motions, like inklings, like little thoughts that just one thing led to another, and boom, like a bitch is like just on a whole nother level now. Like, I don't even recognize myself from 2016 to 2018. And then from 2018, I had another catalytic fucking change.
Yeah.
So then that's right before COVID.
Yeah.
Decided to move to 1,000
miles across country to leave hometown. But yeah, so for me, it was a matter of like getting right with God first. Yeah. So I know in my spirit, because at the end of the day, I'm a woman of God. And not to say that I'm like super religious at this point in my life, because growing up,
God is not a religion.
Right. Okay. So for me, it was like growing up, we were taught in a way where it was being told to us. It wasn't necessarily like okay, so you got questions about this, let me answer that. Or you confused about this, let me clarify that. It was always, well, this is that, and that's that, and that's what it
is. And you don't question God, or you don't question Jesus. You don't question Jesus. So that really bothered me. It bothered me. I'm not gonna lie, because I had a lot of questions. I wanted to understand. I wanted to get a deeper level. I wanted to connect deeper with Jesus. I already knew I had a connection with God, but I wanted to connect deeper with Jesus, right? So for me, it took maybe my church that I grew up in wasn't necessarily the church for me. Is not necessarily going to be the church for me growing up. Mm-hmm. So let me try and go to a different church. I tried that. Got in the church, sitting there every weekend, like, some don't feel right. Some don't feel right. And I feel like I'm looking at these people and around me, and I feel bad for them almost. Like, I don't feel good in church. And that's hard for me to say out loud, but that's the reality of it. I don't feel good in church. And
because my spirit ain't in the right place when I'm sitting in that building, because that shit brings so much healing to me just to sit there. If I could go to a church building and there wasn't nobody there and just sit there, I could do
It's
that.
just the ideologies that surround.
And the people in
Yeah.
there with all their heavy energies and their thoughts about what this shit should be or how it should
And the
look.
self-righteousness.
Exactly. So for me, I was uncomfortable, and I didn't want to feel uncomfortable. I felt uncomfortable my whole life growing up. You know what I mean? So for me, I wanted to explore more spiritualism. And then I feel like that was when I felt that shift. I felt like that was God saying, it's okay. Not Jesus. God saying, it's okay. Do your thing. Go ahead and do your thing. Because this is what I actually sent you here to do.
Yeah.
So then dibbling, dabbling in all types of stuff as far as the light work of spiritualism.
Mm-hmm.
And never on no, I don't play around with darkness because I got a lot of ancestors that done enough of that.
Listen.
So for me, it was like tapping into the lighter part of myself because and on top of that, I experienced so much dark in my living days, in my younger days. So for me, it felt like it was about time. It was like God was saying, all right, you done mastered the ugliness of life. Now come on over here. Let's get you over here. Let's get you acclimated with what you about to be really doing. Because you had to go through that to get to this point.
Yeah.
Because all that shit you went through was for you to be able to talk about it on a platform where somebody else is going to go through that shit, but in a different way. Somebody else is going to go through that, and you're going to have the tools to help them through that. Just like you and me sitting right here right now. Because you got a lot of tools that help me, and you don't even know it. Like I told you before, I was following you like 5 years before I even connected personally with you on Facebook. So for me, it was just like you never know where God is going to send you and what He's going to have you do out here. But you got to listen to that inner voice, and I feel like that inner voice is your intuition, your gut, and it's helping you, and that's the God in you. So
how did you learn how to hear that voice within you?
I got away from everybody else. I got so many messages through spiritualism to quiet the noise. You can't have your mom in your ear when I'm trying to tell you this stuff. You can't have your husband in your ear when I'm trying to tell you this stuff. Those people you call your friends. You can't have
in your ear while I'm trying to show you this. They distractions. That's the devil that sent them in for this. So for me, it was okay. Now that I'm reflecting on the fact that you said I ain't supposed to have nobody around me, let me watch who's even trying to come around me in these times, because that's important too for me. Because that just shows me what demons I'm really fighting on a day-to-day basis for real, and who's really on some funky stuff, you know?
Yeah.
So for me, when I seen certain people pop up, it started getting interesting. That's when it really started getting interesting.
Girl. That's where I'm at right now. Like with this whole thing.
Yeah.
The people that are coming around, it scares me.
Yeah.
Because it's like, oh my God, am I healed? Or it's like, am I being, you know what I'm saying? Or have I healed so much that now we're in a season where those who did try with you, those who did hurt you, now they're mess. You know what I'm saying?
It's really, it's honestly, I took it as shocking because for me, it's the audacity. It'd be the audacity for me. I done tried with so many different people in the city of Harrisburg, like just to connect on a level.
Honestly, I'll put this out there because I feel like a lot of people make it seem like it's not a thing to hit me up in my inbox and ask me a question about the spiritual journey and how to get through a certain part of it. Mm-hmm. It's people that are very popular in the city that'll hit me up and say, ask me a question about this part of it or that part of it or this part of it. And I never put that out there. Never. Because I know what I'm here to do. I know that regardless of, God says sometimes you're going to have to take messages from the enemy, and you're going to have to get an enemy messages. But that ain't to arm your enemy. You actually disarming them in a way where they can't see it, because they're still in that distorted mindset of thinking with their ego. Yeah. So in their mind, they got one up. But behind closed doors, you know what I mean?
That's one thing that I love about me is my comfortability and vulnerability. Like I'm cool with wearing whatever on my sleeve. They say we wear our hearts on our sleeve. You know what I'm saying? And somebody would think, oh yeah, like, you know what I'm saying? I got her strung out. I got her because I'm emotional. You know what I'm saying? But I'm okay with that because I'm okay with the expression and the release that comes with it.
Yes, the
That's
release.
what it's about for me.
Yes.
And I don't think people take the time to really understand that's what it's about. We hear all the time, forgiveness is for you, it's not for the other person. That's what everything is. It's for me. And if people, like one of my favorite things that I like to say is selfishness leads to selflessness. If you start focusing on you, you're going to be able to be everything for all of these people that you think you need to do. I like these things for. You know what I mean? Like we don't want to. When I say we, I don't mean us, but we as a humanity, we don't want to take that time to
us. You know what I mean?
I feel like it has a lot to do with the direction society's going. Like,
but at what point in your personal
exactly
journey
that
do you
part.
choose better for yourself? Like we said, we come from Harrisburg. I could be just like everybody there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I didn't realize how loud my environment was until I moved to Maryland and could hear how loud it was within.
Right.
And it's not to say that it's good or bad. It's neither nor. It's just to say when you're around the same kind of energies.
A different person with a different face, same ass energy,
spirit,
same soul.
spirit.
And that's what I kept running into. And I feel like that's where a lot of my falling out came from. A lot of situations where I had to ghost people that I thought I was, I don't like using the word friends anymore. You see me like fighting to get that out. But I don't like to use that word friends anymore because of that. I felt like in a time where I was even open in a space where I shouldn't have been putting myself out there.
Yeah.
Because I knew what would happen, and I knew like where my mind was. I knew what could happen. I didn't know what would happen. I knew what could happen. So for me, it was like to put myself out there and consistently run into the same person. So this was my issue growing through Harrisburg. I would make surface
connections in the beginning, and it would grow deeper. And once it grew deeper, the individual started looking at me different in a way where they might see my light a little bit more than me, like, so they start maybe conversations that we would have had prior to them coming into this weird space about how their journey's going, what they want to do for their journey as far as like how to move forward. What do they need to do? They need to see a therapist or whatever the case may be. It goes from that space, very open, very vulnerable, to very closed off and very like competitive almost. You see what I'm saying?
Oh no.
I have to see it. I've lived it. I live it.
So for me, it's like with that, I had to like cut off a lot of people because it's like, it ain't me. I know it ain't me. Because I came with open arms, open heart, like transparent as fuck, telling you shit I shouldn't probably even have been telling you, like real open. You know what I mean? So when it came down to that, and I had to make that move, I was always okay with it. It happened a lot, but I was always okay with it because it was just like, okay, this is that again.
Yeah. So me, I wasn't always okay with it. Absolutely not. I used to make it a reflection of my worth, of my value, of whether or not my love was good or bad. You know what I mean? And I don't cry for those years because those years made me. Even with the most recent thing, I don't cry about it. I see the evidence now after we've fallen out. Everything that I spoke life into, everything that every idea, everything has been birthed.
Oh my goodness.
I can't be mad at the change that I know I'm already impacting. You know what I'm saying? I had to learn how to stop closing myself off though.
Right.
Because my love is beautiful.
Right.
My heart is beautiful.
And it's for everybody.
And it is for everybody. And it's for anybody who God allows to get close to me. Whether you're perceived as a lesson or a blessing. That's your choice. How you choose to move with me, you have to reap those seeds.
Right, exactly.
My garden's going to overflow every time. Every time. You got to reap those seeds. And that's one thing that I also, like, I don't feel the need to fight fire with people.
Nope, me neither.
And they hate my gut. Oh my goodness. How can we talk about that for like 2 seconds? How they literally will like probably come and shoot you because you ain't triggered by them.
Listen, even with
oh my god, that one is a big pet peeve for me.
I asked people to be a part of this. Like when I was asking for interviews, I watched them read my messages. I watched them. I watch them read my messages, say yes, and then automatically now you got your own event coming on. Because you want to be, I'm not trying to be an Indian.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm comfortable being a chief. I'm not trying to be a chief.
Right.
I'm comfortable with being an Indian. As long as I could be a part of the journey, I don't give a fuck who got the light.
Yeah, and then at the
You know
end
what I'm
of the
saying?
day,
Like, I'm going to be who God want me to be.
Right.
And live the life that God want me to have. Every single time. But people don't pay attention enough, I think, to the energies that do come in. You said something earlier while you were talking, and it triggered this question. Of knowing where you are in your seasons and being able to make that give you the awareness of who is coming towards you. Because I think a lot of people don't take the time to draw those. Like, I've had friends, again, shout out to my heteros, because penis makes y'all crazy.
Oh yeah.
Like, it really
Don't
does.
let it be a good one.
Yeah, penis makes y'all crazy. So I had a friend and she just keeps attracting the same kind of, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, the same
And
kind.
what I want women to understand, and men are predatory creatures.
Yeah.
By nature.
Yeah.
They sniff out the energies in which they feel they can maneuver.
That's what my husband did.
So I tell my friends all the time, that little girl inside of you that's not healed, you need to talk to her. Because these men are sniffing her. They don't want
That's
you.
why I ended up marrying
They
my
don't want
mama.
you. They want somebody who can, that thing inside of you that they can do this, that they can trigger, that they can, and that's not a conscious necessarily a thing all the time. Sometimes it's the spirits in which their journeys are going through and they're allowing to.
That's the biggest part.
Because that's the thing. We wrestle not against flesh and blood. I really want us to get this. So you go with that person. It's not you. It's the hope. It's the potential.
It is.
It's the love.
That's what it
it's
is.
The grace. It's
because
the
that's
mercy.
what helped me
That's
for
inside
2 extra years.
It's that.
Yeah.
That's what they're, because they want you to look at you different. If you look at you different, you're looking at the world different. You're looking at the world different, you're walking in the world different, you're talking in the world different. So the thing that you're supposed to birth is not gonna get birthed because you got this nigga on your mind. And you sit here and fight. Y'all, Facebook and Harrisburg, can y'all please stop fighting over these men who are willing to do nothing but use you, abuse you, and toss you to the side? Y'all are too beautiful and too powerful to be on Facebook Live arguing with each other, calling each other out of y'all names over a man who's not going to do anything for you. On God, not just my city, anywhere in the world. That man has shown you his truth.
Even want to do.
Why are you making that woman an enemy when you are both just as broken? I just want y'all to really take that in.
Yeah.
Because I hate that.
No, for real. That's a big problem. I've seen that on.
Just find out you. If you are this man and you don't like what's being reflected back to you, change it. Life is a mirror. We don't like to hear that because we like all the bad shit. You tell me this was for me to see me. Yes.
I got raped when I was 15 by a family member. That wasn't for me. You know what I'm saying? That wasn't because God wanted me to experience being sexually assaulted. No. But the amount of women that I was surrounded by at the time, that I met afterwards, that is a foundation for them.
Yeah.
That makes more sense. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't want to see our correlations, and we gotta start. Like, what is it? What is it? Why am I saying that? Because I don't, and I'm saying that as somebody, I don't deal with people like a real human life. You go through my text messages right now.
Not real
if you
human
go,
life.
no, for real. If you go through my text messages right now, there's gonna be one active conversation. Her. That's it.
So this one is gonna be you. That's it. Swear to God, because I don't, and I don't deal with people because I don't want to.
Yeah.
But because I've taken so much time to see
my
me,
goodness,
that in order for you to come back in my life, it's because you need something.
I treat my energy
like
my
it's
money now. Like
my mom probably want me around more than I'm around, and I get that. I get that because she be wanting somebody there who's also on her side.
Yeah,
and I get that. I understand that. Want me to be around my family more, but it's not my season.
Yeah.
But every time my mom calls me, every time I actually pick up the phone, it's always when I'm supposed to be.
Yeah.
Because there's something that you need from me that I can give.
Exactly.
I can't give it all the time.
Right.
I can't give it. Why? Because we're not vibing on the same wavelength on a day-to-day basis. You are a reflection of me at every single point. So if you're not living consistently what I'm living, you're reflecting the wrong thing.
Yeah.
If you're not in alignment with what I'm living, you're reflecting
the wrong thing. She'll tell you all the time, every time a new friend comes around, I'm watching because I'm trying to see which parts of me are
you
you
correlate with.
showing to me?
Yeah.
And I will take that friend
That's
title
beautiful.
so quick
Yeah.
because not because I don't,
But
not
that
because,
is so beautiful
but because
though.
I can't. I
That's
don't like
wrong.
what I'm being shown.
Yeah, that's wrong.
And I'm telling you right now, your behaviors are going to lead you to this place.
Yeah.
And if you keep moving like this, this is what's going to happen. It's not an ultimatum. No.
Right.
Warning comes before destruction. Because I know me enough to know that I'm a warner, I'm a warner. I'm telling you, this is what it's going to be. And I'm going to have to distance myself, though.
Right.
Because I don't like how it's reflected back to me.
Exactly.
So, yeah, I don't want people who are like me. I want people who are very much different from me.
Right.
But on the same vibrational wave.
Yeah.
Like, you need to vibrate where I'm vibrating.
Yep.
I work really hard. And I don't think we like to hype that up. Like you said to me earlier, hype it up.
girl.
Like, I don't hype it up like that. But it's like, I did a
You
lot.
care for it in a way where.
A lot. To get, it took a lot of violence
Yeah.
to be this
It's
gentle.
peaceful.
It took a lot. People
Yes.
know when I first moved, one of the things I want to talk to next is about what it was for you when you got out of, when you first moved away from the movies. Because for me, when I first moved, like I said, I didn't realize how noisy my environment was. Until I moved, and she lived in Edgewood when I first moved here, which is like, think of a country road in Texas, throw a couple buildings in that bitch, and the highway right down the middle where everybody's driving up, and just throw some. That's how it was. So it was real small, as opposed to coming from like Harrisburg, which is like a little metro city.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Where you can like walk around, like you know, you needed a car, you're not driving.
Country,
Like it's real county. Like I lived in a county, like it's Hartford County at that. So I lived in Hartford County.
Yeah.
Like real rural. Like compared to what I was just real quiet.
Yeah.
Real quiet. I was sober because I ain't had no plug out here yet. So I couldn't find no smoke.
That I was sober.
I was sober.
Shit,
Oh my gosh, she hated me.
I
I was smoking Newports at the time. She hated me smoking Newports. She was like, you ain't smoking.
Oh, I'm glad you stopped.
Oh my God, I did. Cold turkey too. It's possible.
It is. It is.
So it was just such a stressful. She refused to buy me any cigarettes. Like I don't know what was going on. Like it just.
This is done.
It's all the memories out of that one.
Yeah.
Okay,
We're
that's
good
good.
here.
That one can keep going.
Yep.
And then yeah. Anyway, honestly, that works out perfect because I like this angle. Anyway, it got you. Don't worry.
Okay. It's just
You don't have to turn around. It's shorts. I was just. I was so.
You were around a lot of noise.
I didn't realize how hurt I was.
Yeah.
I was so broken. I didn't realize how broken I was. And I mean, my shit came out every which way. And this is when I learned that the healing journey wasn't what the fuck we was told on social media. Because I thought I had done the work. I had sown the seeds.
You thought.
Yeah, I had sown some seeds. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But when I got away from everything and everybody, no, that's when because it hit me like a ton of bricks. And I mean the tears, the anger, the hurt, and it would come in explosive rage fits. It would come in silences where I couldn't say anything. It would come just come. It would just be so much coming out at every turn.
Right.
That's why I love that she's in my life. Like she's literally the only person in my life, like consistently.
Blessings.
Because she's also my cousin too. So it was cool for it to be family because my experience with family was different for me growing up than what she has
Exactly.
offered me in this journey.
Right.
Because she created so much space for me to punch the door without snapping.
Just be you.
And not necessarily it's okay, but I understand. Yeah. And I think that everybody needs a safe space like that, whether in your world or internally. Like, don't be afraid to let it out. Like, don't be afraid to be honest about it. Exactly. Because I know it hurt. And I think we're so trying to be so strong
I feel
and
like
fuck the
the
world
honesty
and
part.
fuck feelings and I'm soft girl era life and da 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 da. But
I feel like with the honesty part though, sorry to cut you. With the honesty part, I feel like that is so crazy to me because nobody's asking you to go in front of a podium in front of 10 million people and say, these are all my flaws, and this is what these are all my this is all my toxic ways. Nah, if you can admit that shit to yourself, that right there will get you started for real. That's where it all starts, is being able to like sit in that with
and
yourself.
be real with yourself. Like really I'm real with me. You're not shit in this moment. You're like, girl, I could be
yeah.
Because I don't like people like I cuss even when I'm doing my Bible studies. I cuss. I'm a cusser. Like I don't, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like I keep it 100.
Yeah.
Like I'm not about to sit here and fake the phone. No, girl, you're tripping. You're doing too much. You're giving too much. You're showing up too much. Yeah. Matter of fact, what you said to that motherfucker on June 23rd, 2006 at 3:05 p.m. on MySpace, you need to go, and that's how it was. Like
stop,
for a long time, and people don't want to admit to that. Like those things are torturing.
Yeah.
For a long time, my family was in my head. My mom was in my head. I mean, like I'm doing an Oprah interview. Like we sitting right here, and they just letting me know you ain't shit, you ain't this, you ain't and I'm like, I am. Just war with yourself. Like be real with yourself.
Right.
That hurts.
Right. And then also just to touch on what you just said, because that's a problem too, where you got a whole bunch of people around you that think they know you and are projecting. Yeah. So when we that was my problem with my family and my mom. She was so angry that she felt like because she was angry, I had to be angry. And in some ways I was, you know what I mean? Okay, in some ways I was. It felt like for me, I was angry with her, not at the world. And she translated that as to, you're angry with the world and they ain't got nothing to do with me. Go get yourself together.
Now, depending on, could be.
Tell me, enlighten me, because I want to,
because
that really bugged me.
An angry person knows another angry person, and I don't think we want to. You could be angry. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
But my thing wasn't in denial that I was angry. It was the person that made me angry. This angry person projecting their anger onto me, and on top of that, not holding themselves accountable for where my anger might have stemmed from.
But were you angry?
Yeah, definitely.
Exactly. Again, an angry person knows another angry person.
Right.
Even if you're only mad at that individual and not the totality.
Right.
You're still angry.
Yeah. So
and in her own way, she was probably trying to save you from becoming her. Nobody wants to be angry. Nobody wants to be hateful. Nobody wants to be spiteful. Nobody wants to be bitter. Nobody wants to be these things. Life experiences make us these
because
things.
I definitely was.
Like the friends that I grew up with, we had similar stories, similar experiences. We out here all together. None of us got our parents. None of us got our family.
Exactly.
We all on these streets going through the same shit.
Which is
the
crazy.
Same shit. You know what I'm saying? At the same time, they had so much anger, and so much bitterness, and so much rage, and so much hate, and so much, you know what I'm saying? I didn't want to be that.
Yeah.
And they didn't want that for me.
Right.
So all they were still them. They're telling me no. You know what I'm saying? Because nobody wants that.
Right, yeah.
Nobody wants to carry, like that shit is heavy. And it's tiring.
That's
and it's
true.
draining being hateful. It's draining fuck the world. It's tiring. How do I know? I've been like that. For a year, I was fuck the world, fuck everybody. I would beat you all the fuck up. Yeah. Come near me, I'm shooting you.
I think I was like 16 or like between 14 and 16 when she threw that, when it was like it was like a season of her, you know, saying that to me. Yeah. And it could have been, you know, in the prime.
Trying to stop you from becoming that person.
Right.
And although she didn't have the tools or the words to be able to say it in a way that it
I
probably would have resonated.
I could definitely
bitch, get your shit together. You real mad right now. Yeah. And you need to calm that shit the fuck. Yeah, that's her way of saying, like, I'm angry. I don't want to say to you that I'm angry because you were a child. I'm not telling you how I feel. Right. You know what I'm saying? I think you gotta start recognizing. That's why, like, I recognize all of it. Like,
see, that's the parts of me that I'm still trying to get familiar with. When the parts of me that are hard on my mom. Yeah. Because, oh my God, that lady put me through it. Yeah. And that was through negligence and being present in the ways that she was. So for me, I feel like even now, like where I say, you know, or I feel like I'm in a good space with myself, regardless of, you know, like where we are, I feel like if I can subtract my feelings, my emotions, and move with logic, like be more logical.
Your feelings.
But no, but I feel like sometimes I need to because I'm overly emotional, and that will trigger that deep thinking pattern where I'm creating scenarios in my head that don't even fucking exist. Yeah, so for me, it's that, you know, because I'm still in this, like, I don't want to say battle, but that's the word that came out with my mom. So for me, it's like, whoa, 1 month we're good, and then we go 6 months without talking to each other, and then we talking, and we're like love bombing the fuck out of each other, and then it's like, okay, she done did something to piss me off, or I ain't acknowledge her the way she wanted me to. So it's like an ongoing cycle of that, and it's very fucking toxic. Very fucking toxic. But at the same time, I feel like it got me to a place where, like I said with my husband, I know he gonna come this way. I know he gonna come that way. I know which angle you coming from now. So everything you could hit me with to try to make it seem like it's me or I'm the issue, I ain't going for it this time.
I'm gonna tell you what I told my mom for her mom is it's not your business. You know what I'm saying? Whatever chapter she's on, that's her journey.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not your business.
Yeah.
Like, love you, Auntie Tab. That's not your business. You know what I mean? I think that because my mom literally I was on the phone with her just the other day, and everything was cool. Like, she over at my uncle's house. My uncle had a stroke, so my grandma moved up here to take care of him. So she had my uncle's house. Everything cool. They joking and ha laughing. Somebody said something, my grandma got triggered, cussed my mom out, then my mom got triggered. Now she's on the phone, she's crying, and I understand why she's crying, because I understand what it's to be a child. To want a love from your parent, or understanding, or where did that come from, or I don't deserve to be talked like this, and I don't. And one thing what was funny is I'm sitting here talking to my mom, and she's like saying how all these things are just unnecessary or dramatic, and as her daughter who actually experienced these things from her, you know you are your mother's child, right? Like, and I didn't mean it as an insult, because I think that we like to separate the two. Once you start seeing you, and I said this to her, once you start seeing the you and your mom and stop trying to make y'all two different people, you'll understand her a lot better.
But I do.
That's fine, because you did understand her, your expectations of whatever you want from her wouldn't be so high.
So, but now I'm in a space where I don't, honestly, Daunessy, I don't want anything, and I say this from the bottom of my root chakra. Like, there's nothing I want from my mom more than for her to get it together for herself. And that's the only.
Take yours, the more she takes hers.
Yeah. So with that, when you say like, how I could be like, she could be right about, you know, the anger and stuff. Well, she was, because like I said, it was a projection, and she was the one doing it to me to trigger the whole situation. Not like she did it purposely or anything. And I don't want to sound like I'm consistently blaming her for where we are, because like you said earlier, children can be selfish, you know what I mean? So for me, it's like, I got myself to this place where I'm no longer dependent on that relationship. Like, it doesn't matter if it works out or not, because I got clarity from God that told me she was just a vessel.
But we all want our moms. We all
my
want
grandma played a huge role in my life,
and we all want our moms.
You didn't, but you want your mom.
I had my great grandma. That was my sweet lady. She died in 2009.
I don't know.
That one that held me down was my rock.
Disagree with you. If I gotta have my mom the way she is,
hella, but we all crave.
If I gotta have my mom the way she is,
no, I'm not saying it like that. But you still want your mom. If your mom wants to get her life together, you will welcome her.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Because
I would.
we all want our moms.
Yeah, I
you know
do.
What I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
I told her straight up. Once I get on one, you the first one I'm buying the house. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. But for me, it's like I said, like I don't know if it's just from being a baby and not having that with her, because I don't know what it took for her to go through that process, you know, a pregnancy, have the baby, and then to maneuver the way she did. So for me, it's like, okay, I seen that at a young age, like that's what it was. But then I also seen my grandma pick up so much to where
her mom?
No, my dad's mom. So for me, it was like, don't know. I'm at a loss for words right now because I feel like what I'm trying to say is more based on my grandma and not my mom. Because for some reason, that has been the person that I seen,
As your mom.
told myself that's my mom. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's from not just her love for me. That's how she showed up for me. She was the one showing up for me when, it could have been bad. It could have been ugly for a little girl that was around a pedophile or around a cousin that was touching, siblings and stuff like that. I had that I had her as my protector. And so for me, it's like when you say like we all want our moms. Yeah, I could see I want my mom. Like, but what ways? In what ways?
I said I would feel the same way about my mom, but I think it was until other women started coming into my life.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, I've had multiple mother figures, multiple. That's why I understand like the word mom is a loose term for me because I don't think there's any limitations to who a mom could be. A mom is a woman who just wants to guide you. Mm-hmm. So for me, that's anybody. But as far as the inherent connection that we have with our parents, that internal thing, I feel like we all have that thing.
Yeah, we do.
All have that, especially I think it gets worse when people have kids. You know what I'm saying? Because my aunt.
But is it possible for it to be broken from the beginning?
I think that's a story we like to tell ourselves because it's easier. It's easier than the reality. It's easier than the work. It's easier than the accepting them as they are without having expectations for their better.
But
like my
hold on,
mom,
because you say have expectations for them. So, because I want to, and sorry if I sound like I'm getting passionate because I am. Like expectations as far as like, for me, expectations would be like, I just want her to call me, every once in a while.
That's an expectation.
Exactly. So expectation versus requirements. You need it as a child. We can't get those two confused. You see what I'm saying? There are requirements and then there are expectations.
But
as a child,
like we said earlier, what is that? What is a mom? What is a mom?
What is right? Exactly. So then that goes
told, like you said about we were told this is what a mother is supposed to be.
Right. So for me, my mother was my grandma.
And they were moving how they were moving with their mothers. We had other women and they were moving a certain way with us.
Right.
This is what a mother is. This is what
But
how do you know that?
Yeah.
Because just because that person, like this woman right here, has given me a love that I've never experienced with any other person, does that mean that she's this level? No. Because she's still not that person. You see what I'm saying? There's a connectivity that we have to our vessels that transport us here that I think we like to tell ourselves isn't important. And it's not to say that you have to be connected in order to be connected to that energy. You know what I'm saying? My mother is my mother. And I think for me, I appreciated when women came into my life trying to be that person and downplay her. You probably never experienced people downplay who your mom was or is to you. I did. You know what I'm saying? Your grandma probably wasn't talking shit about you. Your grandma wasn't probably doing all of that. No. So you never had to see her as less than or be told that she was less than. It's one thing for me to feel one way about my parent. It's another thing for somebody else to tell me how I should feel about my parent. And then for them to actively try to play that role. Not just play it, but feel entitled, but feel better than her, feel above her. That's why I'm a little bit more closer to my mom because I've had women come in my life who gave me these things. They gave me all of this stuff, the type, all of the things that a mother is supposed to give. And then they try to come for my mom. They try to downplay my mom. I'm doing what your mom didn't do. I'm doing what your mom should have did. I'm doing what your mom won't even. That doesn't make you better than her. That doesn't make you superior to her. My mom is everything she's supposed to be.
I get it.
She's everything.
I get it.
Even when I was younger, the fights, the arguing, the hell that we went through has made me who I am today. Made me. I can't take that away from her.
You can't take that part out and not be this person.
I can't remove that part. I can't unacknowledge her. And again, like I said, the older I get, I am my mom. And we don't like to. We're our parents.
Yeah,
like,
no,
we're our parents.
I don't want you. So let me clarify. I don't want you to hear.
No,
me.
I don't think. I don't think that.
I just don't want you to hear me as like, nah, fuck that bitch. I don't like her. Nah, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is because.
But for anybody watching, clarification. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
For where you are versus how they would translate.
Right.
because we gotta be mindful. People
Right.
would hear you say some shit like that and then run with that. Now they want to hear disrespecting your own mom and feeling like they, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because I had the situation. My husband did it. You worried about me doing this, and then you got your own mom. Da 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 da. You see what I'm saying? Your own mom. Da 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 da. And for me, it was like I had those type of things that make me be like, hold on, because I know Miss Honey ain't all that, but she got this and that together. So I ain't gonna let you do all that. And for me, I did that. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not letting you go there. You can't do that. That's off limits. That's off boundaries. We're not about to attack mom. But at the end of the day, and at the same time, I just feel so strongly about my connection with my grandmas. And
no, it's not to downplay. I'm not, and that's I don't want you to think that I'm trying to downplay your connection with your grandma.
No, that's not what I hear. I'm saying that I see her as my mother. When you say mother, what does a mom look like? What is a mom like? Like you said, there is no actual physical shape or form or guide to what a mother is, right? So for me, that's when it came in. So when you say like we are our mother's daughters, we are them. We them too. Like our grandparents, our grandmothers, our
everybody who's ever made an imprint.
Yeah. So for me, I can't deny that I'm my mother's child. I move like her on a daily basis. Like I'm not in denial of that at all. But at the same time, the significance she held in my life as a child, it doesn't exist. It's almost non-existent. Versus when I became a teenager, you know what I mean? And then those lessons came in about, you know, this is what you need to do at school. This is how you need to act around these type of people. If they treating you like this, get away from them. You don't want to do this. You might get an STD.
I didn't even have that.
Yeah. So
like,
I'm grateful.
Earlier, you had like sex talk.
Yeah. So that makes me
my
grateful.
mom took me to the store, to the family dollar to buy tampons and didn't even explain how they work.
Cause listen,
like,
my cousins right next to me had it really bad. Really bad, in a way where it was emotionally traumatizing for them, like throughout most of their childhood. We spent a lot of time with them, like we were with them all the time, and the fact that, you know, that stuff didn't, you know, bounce off to us, that showed me that my mom was doing something right. You know what I mean? So
that's the point that I wanted to. That I was trying to
give her credit, and I think the way I start off is so harsh and so hard because of the way I internalize
like you
it.
Still like, you know what I'm saying?
Because we're still going through it.
Yeah, and I think that's what I'm trying to get to. It's like, who is she to you?
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
She like big sister, honestly.
Focus on that.
She like big sis,
you know
honestly.
what I'm saying? Focus.
And that's sad for me to be able to say. See how, but it is for me. For me, it feels sad. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to be able to say that. And then that's where the expectation comes in. Because, you know what I mean? I wanted her to be this, but she's coming out to me as this. And my mom has even said to me, you treat me like I'm your little sister. Like, what does that even mean?
For me, I think it's empowering. Like, for me, growing up the way that me and my mom grew up, it's empowering to be in the position that I'm in now. Where I am that kind of energy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's empowering because, like, damn, sis, you did that work. You did that. You know what I'm saying? So for me, it's like, my relationship's a little different with the idea because it's like, I don't look at it like, oh, I wish I had this, that, and third. I have it.
Right.
It doesn't come from the source that I feel like it should come from.
Exactly.
But I have the energy.
My point.
You know what I'm saying? So whoever I have to be, whenever I have to be, for her, I let it be just that. Just like whatever those, even if it's a pocket moment that she is the mom, I let it be just that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't like to label it or put pressure on it to be one thing or the other. No, that's mom. Why? Because I came out her puss. You know what I'm saying? Her hairs was smacking me in the face on the way out. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's my mom. Like, can't nobody take that, although she did not do the mother role with me. That's my mom. Like, and I think that we often, especially for what I've seen on social media, I'm gonna go there. What I've seen is that people like to get so caught up in the wrong stuff.
What do you,
like?
Okay,
I think for me, what also put a lot of things in perspective. I almost lost my mom. You know, twice. So it's like, when those kind of things happen, it changes your relationship. For sure. And it's not to say, oh wow, they had to almost die for you to care. Like, that's a little wow, sis. No, but when you, the saying, you don't know what you have until it's gone. So even though I was doing my own work on myself to try to heal our relationship without her, the moments where I was met with my mom waking up the guns at her face, you know what I'm saying? My mom having a stroke, like those things made life real. Like life is fleeting. Any given moment could be taken away from us. And I think we spend so much time wanting people to be all of these things and all of these stuffs and all of this. You miss opportunity. You miss opportunity for healing. You miss opportunity. My grandmother, like I said, my great-grandmother, my sweetie, died in 2009. My aunt took her kids. We had a big falling out. My family has been broken since then. They keep hopping states to get away. Be Health and Wellness Practice, offering holistic and alternative care, committed to healing, restoring, and protecting humans through natural medicines, offering yoni steams, skin blemish oils, liquid African black soap, evil eye art, bath salts and soaks, and so much more. Please follow all of their social medias, which is in the picture above.
Where do you feel like I could be more open-minded?
Just be open-minded
About
everything.
as far as
All of it. You must just have specifications, and I can't. You know what I'm saying?
because
Because I just look at my mom as a mom. I look at her as a person.
yeah,
The title
and that's what
is
I'm getting
irrelevant.
to. That's what I'm getting
Like
to.
the title
point
is
of-
the title is literally semantics at this point. Like I'm just doing that just to appease the world around me, because I'm not gonna be like. There are moments where she's all right, David.
Right.
You doing too much. You know what I'm saying? Like there are moments where she's just her first name.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Just like there were seasons where she was mother.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like that's that's mother. Like mother's coming. Look, mother's calling. You know what I'm saying? Just just be open minded. You know what I'm saying? Like they were people before they were parents. Who was the person? If you know the person, you'll understand the parent more.
One little thing about that,
Huh?
with the understanding the person, with trying to understand the person, and you're trying to understand somebody who's a secretive person overall.
Then you go around them.
Yeah.
And you ask other people.
Yeah, because
And you
for me it's
inquire
like
with their family.
right.
Shit, hire a PI depending on how
Yo,
deep
shut
it
the fuck
swear to God. Depending on how deep
Because
it
there's
is
so
for
much
you.
secrecy. Like I was telling you earlier about
Yeah.
the dynamic of my family. It's like if I said something, it's like
But even in
shots
that,
fired.
why is there so much secrecy? Because my family's the
Exactly.
same way. You have to ask yourself, there's secrets in every family.
Yeah.
You got to figure out why is it so secretive. Maybe
Right.
there's a secret that will break somebody if it comes out. That's
Right.
another thing that I've had to learn. Sometimes shit is silent for a reason. And we have to get comfortable with the silence. Because not everybody is ready for what
Exactly.
it takes to carry
So
the
that's
weight.
so that's the part for me. So it's with my mom more specifically, since we're on that topic. It's like my mom on paper is bipolar. So we're dealing with somebody who has a mental illness on top of a traumatic experience in life, because I've had moments of like vulnerability with my mom where I'm telling her about myself and stuff I wouldn't usually share with her, and she's had them with me where she's telling me about her experience and what she's going through, where she's at in life. For me, it's like we'll have those moments, and then I feel like what happens is her mental illness kicks in. And when her mental illness kicks in, it's like everything that we just had, everything that we were just talking about, it literally flips to the opposite of it. It's like literally like from day to night. So for me, it's trying to navigate through having a relationship, because that's what it is.
So
regardless.
bipolarism don't got nothing to do with all of what you just said. I think that there's a misconception of what bipolarism is. It's high highs and low lows. It's not, I don't fuck with you day, I love you, I don't fuck, no. It's never like that. So if it's going like that, that's an internal thing that she's doing for herself. So I don't want you to think that it's the bipolar. It's not. She's probably triggered. You don't know how to deal with the trigger. You gotta think, you doing this, you're a beautiful example of everything she probably wanted for her own mom. You know what I'm saying? So that's one thing that I had to share with, that I had to learn with my mom. Even though we're having a moment of beautifulness, in her mind, she's thinking of the beauty that she didn't have with somebody who she wanted to have. So although I have this with you in this moment, I don't have this for myself. And I had that conversation with my mom the other day. I was like,
There isn't.
that's why the journey is the destination.
And on top of that, I feel like it's not. I feel like when people hear healing, or healed. I feel like the word healed shouldn't even exist, first of all, because I feel like you're consistently healing and you're always transitioning, so you're constantly evolving into that person, which is going to cause you to have to heal something, you know, new every time. So I feel like when people say, "Oh, I'm healed, I ain't got nothing to work," you a fucking liar. You a liar. And you'll be surprised how much I hear that. Like, I'm good, I'm straight. Like, I don't, what, that? You into that? Like,
I know somebody who thinks like that, just let it roll off their back all the time. They always good. They always straight. I think she's the only person who I would believe that, just because the way that she processes things is different than how I process things. Like me, like I said, I'm emotional. She's analytical.
Yeah.
So the way that she's processing is more of a numbers game than it is of an emotions game.
Yeah.
And I had to learn how to deal with people like that. Because again, I'm emotional. Bitch, I need to see you cry.
Right. So
you see my tears. So why you not crying too?
Right. Yeah,
and she's not like that. She's sitting there staring at my face.
Like, what's going on?
Trying to calculate what the fuck.
Like, where she got
you know what I'm saying? And I've had to deal with people like that. I think that's one of the things that I'm learning in this generation, in this season, is just journeying with people, but not being moved by it.
Ooh.
You know what I'm saying? Because everybody has their own thing, their way. My way is not the only way. Just because God did this for me in this type of way,
and told me
does
I gotta
not
go
mean
about it
that
like
is
this.
your blueprint.
Right.
Like, and I've had to learn how to allow people's blueprints to play out. Like, this your playbook. This is how you know what I'm saying? And that's how you build a team. That's how you build a community. What are your strengths?
Right.
Okay. Stick to them.
Right. Right.
Because you mind in everybody else's business.
Exactly.
But yours.
Yeah.
What are your strengths?
Right.
Stick to them. What are her strengths?
Right.
Stick to them. Just like the editing software, all of these chords, all of these lighting, girl, when I tell you, this is not my strength. My strength is, how do I curate this space, the energy, the conversation.
Facility.
You know what I'm saying? This is all her. Me and you would have been here with this iPhone popped up somewhere. You see what I'm saying? Thugging it. Would have been the best thing
and
you
I would have been okay.
And I would have been okay. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I just want to, and me, I know that we was going to get, even this is small. I know that was going to have the multiple cameras and the things like that eventually. But it's like, I'm okay with the right now. But I had somebody who seen the potential because of their part. So we got all of the stuff to start to move forward. And I want other people to have that. Like, just, what are your strengths? Play to that. Let God move you through that. I don't have to worry about nothing other than what God has me worried about.
Exactly, because I feel like that's how we all come here and do what we're supposed to be doing here anyway. Is by being our own individual selves and following the plan that He made for us, not the one our mom made for us or our pastor or our brother said we should do because he thinks it's cool.
So please comment, like, share, subscribe. I will put her social media links in the description box below so that you can take the time to follow her businesses. Get your yoni steams, because you need to cleanse them all out. And you know who all of them are. Amen.